On this week's episode of Geek Talk, we wanted to really not focus on the geek aspect of things in this episode. What we wanted to do is really focus and give some thanks to some individuals who really help us put on our events on a yearly basis. TimmisnCon is 10 days away. That's right, 10 days. I cannot believe it. But first and foremost, we wanted to thank, like I said, a few people. Number one, we wanted to thank all of our sponsors who continue to be, a huge support for our event financially. That helps us do a lot of things that, without their support and financial contributions, we simply would not be able to do. So, again, we cannot thank them enough for their yearly continued support. I know that they probably get a lot of requests from a lot of other organizations, but they continue to support ours. So again, we cannot thank them enough. Also, the City of Timmins, who's over the years has become a very important partner of ours. We work very closely with them on various aspects to set up TimmisnCon. So Fred Salvador and all of the ladies at Service Timmins have been absolutely fantastic to work with. So we can't thank them enough as well for all their continued support and their partnership in helping us grow TimmisnCon to what it is today. We also wanted to give a huge thanks to all of our vendors and artists who keep coming back year after year. I know that Timmins is, here's my famous words again, I know that Timmins is geographically challenged, but obviously, it's worth their trip to come up here. So again, all of the vendors and the artists, again, without you guys supporting the event and showing up and, really putting on, helping us put on, a fantastic show with all of your fantastic merchandise and your displays. Again, without you guys being there just simply would be no TimmisnCon. So thank you to each and every one of you for making the long trip up to Timmins and being a part of our extended family here. Also wanted to thank Mike and his crew at Best Buy, who continually put on an amazing gaming zone each year. Mike's been with us from the very beginning. So Mike and his team at Best Buy are so professional, so courteous, and they work so hard to put on, the best gaming zone I've seen in quite some time. So we wanted to give them some huge props and thanks as well too for their continued support and their partnership for TimmisnCon. Lastly, I wanted to thank the volunteers. I've said this on numerous occasions. Without the volunteers, TimmisnCon simply would cease to exist. The event now, as everyone knows, is the arena and the curling rink this year. So we're really pretty much taking over the entire McIntyre Community Center. And just because of the logistics of that event, it's just simply too big for our board, to manage. So without all of our volunteers, from the bottom of my heart, I cannot say thank you enough for your dedication, for your hard work, for your laughs, but really for being there for us to put on this event for our community. So to each of all of the volunteers, to all of the students, to all of our reoccurring volunteers that come back year after year, all capital letters, thank you for your hard work and support. And then one last thing I'd like to say is we'd like to thank our media partners, Kins and Klump. We'd like to thank Eastlink for their continued support as well. But I'm going to finish up with our board of directors. Our board of directors is a volunteer-based board of directors, so no one collects a paycheck, no one gets paid. Everyone does this out of their own free time. And sometimes this is almost, it's almost a full-time job. So you do your shift at work, and then you go home and then you have another 4 or 5 hours of work, and maybe even then some to organize everything. So when a lot of people don't understand what goes into putting on an event of this size and this nature. So just remember that everyone who puts this event together is a volunteer as well too, even myself. So Maybe when you see one of the staff walking around at the venue during the weekend of TimmisnCon, a thank you wouldn't be a bad thing. A lot of people think that the event's put on by paid staff. It's not. It's a volunteer board of directors. So again, I wanted to take my final opportunity here before the week come to an end, and really thank our board of directors. Without their hard work, their dedication, we went through 2 very difficult years with the pandemic. They really toughed it out. They really stuck with it. We easily, and we almost did, have to close up shop for good. But their dedication and their stubbornness really wouldn't allow me to do that. So we really had to tighten our belts. But this year we've really been able to expand our show with a lot of support. And again, the board of directors, I cannot thank you guys enough. So with that said, we'll wrap up this episode of Geek Talk. Next week, that's right, next week, TimmisnCon will be arriving. Optimus is on his way. Bumblebee's on his way. Laura Vanderhoort will be on her way. So it's going to be a very exciting week. Next week, leading into TimmisnCon next weekend, April 15th and 16th. Well, hopefully we'll see you there. This one you won't want to miss. And remember, we're all true north, strong and geek. We'll see you next week.